this is why you should play Overwatch in 2025. Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. So this is also my Tracer statue. Literally one of the first bits of Overwatch merchandise I ever picked up years ago now. Basically like 10 years ago now, which is kind of insane to think about. Also, a bit of lore with this. The face was actually incorrect on the original versions of this. This one has got the correct face. So I actually think maybe the one with the incorrect face might be a bit of a collector's edition. But anyway, yeah, what I want to do is put this video together to show you why Overwatch is actually a really strong proposition right now if you're interested in hero shooters or even just an FPS game. Remember, it's free to play, so you can download it and play it right now, because I think a lot of us get kind of wound up in the negativity. I do as well, and I have to apologize for this, but it's kind of one of those things where I shouldn't say you, but I have been around so long that I sort of I've got an image of what Overwatch should be in my mind, and I think one of the issues with that is that's not the way Overwatch is ever going to be going forward in the future. And I think some of us need to come to terms with that, me especially. So if you just erase the last 10 years from your mind and go, here is Overwatch 2, is this actually an enjoyable game? You will be surprised, because it really is, and it's got some really killer features, and that's what I want to break down in this video. So let's get stuck into it. Actually, before we do that, I want to show you some other merchandise. This is actually really cool. This is so a very lovely lady called Monica gave me this. She used to work at Blizzard, and this is Reinhardt's stain. I think that's what you call it. It's actually from BlizzCon, but they couldn't sell it because it's broken. So there was a pile of these on the floor, like literally about 200 of them. And I said, could I have one of them? And they said, yeah, you can, but we're not allowed to sell it. So you got to have it for free. I was like, well, whatever. I'll take it for free. So if you look, it's actually broke. You see the handle? It's not safe to hold. It'll fall apart. But isn't that cool? Anyway, let's get stuck into the video. Okay, so the first thing is the performance of the game. The actual engine is insane. I don't think you're going to be able to find an FPS game with such a fluid engine. I mean, the frame rates you can push are insane. Like, look at this, right? I'm running this at 360 FPS, which actually I need to change that because this monitor is only 240 hertz. So I only need 240. But like, just to show you guys the options, look at this. You know, I'm literally sitting here. If I go to video there, you can see, well, you can kind of see if I scroll it up. There you go. 240 hertz in my monitor. It's a 4K resolution. I've got a 4090 here, so I know it is a powerful computer or a powerful graphics card. But like, this game is insanely, and I mean insanely built. It is such a responsive graphics engine. I'm sure a lot of the people that are working on this really do sort of relish the fact that it is as great as it is. I think the engineers have done a fantastic job on this. It's just one of those things that I think a lot of people don't realize. They just sort of take it for granted. And it kind of just sort of lean into the art direction of the game as well, because this game has an art direction very similar to World of Warcraft, in which it stands the test of time. You know, if I said to you this is a 10-year-old game, which it basically is, it doesn't look like a 10-year-old game. I know it's had an update with Overwatch 2. They increased the fidelity of the engine slightly from Overwatch 1. Maybe slightly is a bit of an understatement. But you get what I'm saying, right? The art direction really will stand the test of time. So I do think this is one of those things where Overwatch, it's got a very, very strong engine, especially in the FPS space. So next up is ways to play. Now, this is kind of interesting because the game director, Aaron Keller, has actually said they are looking at changing this up a little bit because there's just so much going on. There's a lot of options here. It's like to a new player, holy hell, what am I going to play? There's so much going on here. Well, obviously, you've got Unranked and you've got the modes within Unranked. You've got 6v6, which, you know, this is a mode that a lot of Overwatch players wanted to see come back, original Overwatch players, and granted to the Overwatch 2 development team, they have brought this back. So you've got quick play, you've got open queue, you've got mystery heroes, there's competitive, which obviously, you know, you can see I've got an inactivity notice. After one season of inactivity or more, your previous competitive ranks may no longer be accurate. Yeah. So this is because I haven't played comp for a long time. So, you know, competitive play, you've got role queue, you've got 6v6 comp as well, which again is like one of those things that people wanted to see. They wanted to see added to the game, and it was added to the game. The developers are giving you choice here. They're not saying we're forcing you to play the game in one way. They are giving you a lot of choice as a player, and I think, again, that is really, really good. You've obviously got Stadium, which to me, this is like, Stadium has been an incredible evolution of the sort of base foundation of Overwatch. This, to me, when I bring the old sort of like what Overwatch could have been and where Overwatch could have gone, this has been the first time since Overwatch 2's launch that they've actually innovated on a new game mode. That's meaningful. That gives you a different way of playing the game. That gives you more connection to the characters. And I think that is incredible, and it's really well done. I really like Stadium, and it's, in fact, it's the only way I really play Overwatch right now. I don't generally play the... well, you can see I haven't played comp for a long time. I don't generally play quick play. I just generally play Stadium. It is such a great way of playing Overwatch. But what I like mostly about it is it's them finally pushing the formula forward. It's not just going, oh, let's just add new monetization stuff to the game or new skins. And yeah, that gets old, at least for me. You've also obviously got the arcade as well. Now, this is going to get revamped. I think this is one of the sections where the actual Aaron Keller, the game director, did say, we're going to take a look at this because there's a lot going on. But again, there's a ton of stuff. Like, there's so many different things you can do. You've got Deathmatch, you've got Total Mayhem, you've got 5v5 Elimination. Underneath me, you've got Team Deathmatch, you've got No Limits, you've got Mystery Duel. You know, you can play the new map here if you want to check it out. I mean, again, I don't know what the queue times are like for this stuff, but at least it's there and it's an option for you to check it out. Then, of course, underneath me here, you've got Custom Games, which is its whole world. You know, I wish they put more effort into this, but custom games, like, this is where your game can live forever because it almost doesn't need developer interaction. You give the tools to the player base and they work on it. Now, I'm going to forget the name of the devs that worked on this, but it was 2 developers that basically put this entire system together. I don't know who works on it now, but the original developers that worked on it are literal heroes in the Overwatch world, if you ask my mind, because in my mind, because this is like, it's such an incredible system. It gives so many different ways of playing the game. It's so good. I just wish they developed that and added things like a proper map editor and stuff like that. You've got missions, which the mission system, we all know this was a complete failure, and I'm not really going to talk about this too much, but we'll come off that. But you can play PvE missions, which were a bit of a failure. Although they are saying they're going to bring those back, so we're going to have to wait and see. Well, okay, let me just clarify that. They're not saying they're going to bring those back. They're saying they're going to explore the narrative, right? Let me be very clear here. They're not bringing back PvE story missions. They are going to do things that push the story forward, probably with seasonal lore, like a season that's based on in-game lore, maybe something like that. Could be pretty cool. You've got Hero Mastery. This is a weird thing. I don't really know. Like, this really isn't for me. But again, it's them trying to innovate, I think, with probably like a limited budget at the time. You can see there's various heroes here, and there's just sort of like assault courses for your heroes. It's fine if you want to get to grips with a hero, but I would always recommend just literally playing the game is the best way to well, learn your hero. And then finally you got training, and this is broke down into different things, so you can play versus the AI. You've got the tutorial, which no one ever uses. This is pointless. You've got practice range, normal, and you've got stadium, which again is really cool because stadium's got all the different stadium powers. So ways to play in this game, there are a lot, and I think maybe there's a little bit too much, but it's definitely a positive because you can do a lot of different things in this game. Really good. So this one's going to be quite controversial coming from me, especially if you know my thoughts on things like monetization and all of that. I actually think Overwatch still is the best. It is the gold standard when it comes to skin design. Now, some of these skins are incredible. They don't always, you know, land on an amazing skin design, but generally they do. I mean, this Genji Mythic skin, I think, was phenomenal. Like this, especially in the red color, it's so good, and especially with the this face. No, that face. Yeah, no, this one. That's my favorite face. I want to say that's my favorite face. But remember, this opens up when he uses his ultimate. Like the mask opens up and everything. Like incredible design skins. And sometimes maybe they miss the ball a little bit. Like this is a mythic skin for D.Va. I'm not saying this is like setting the world on fire. It kind of just looks like a legendary skin. Of course, it's got all these different layers of customizations. There's loads of stuff going on. If you ignore the cost of these things, you can appreciate, I suppose, the art of them, which I think is what I'm sort of getting to here. Like, it's always difficult for me because, like, I came from a world, again, the Overwatch 1 world, if you just earn these skins for free, which I know isn't really particularly sustainable, especially with the way monetization has gone in these games. But, like, I could appreciate these skins, like this skin, like, oh my god, this looks great for Reaper, but I don't want to get this. I actually could. I've got the currency to do this. But, like, to me, the thing of, like, earning the skin and unlocking the skin was... It allowed me to sort of, I think, appreciate the skin more. Whereas the fact that you just have to rock up and pay cash, it puts a sour taste in my mouth. But I know that's the way these games are and all of this stuff. But I think if you just ignore that you have to pay for these skins or they take a lot of grinding... I mean, they're incredible. This one, I think when this is gold... Can I see this as gold? There's a gold version of this. I know there is. Yeah, this again, this is all like layers of monetization, which, like I said, it isn't the best, but this looks frigging insane. I mean, look at that as a skin. That looks insane. Like, show me a game that has skins of this level. Like, you're just not going to be able to do that. Like, I honestly firmly believe you're not going to be able to do that. But, like I said, they're very expensive. So it is like a pro and a con. You can appreciate the design. I just wish you didn't have to pay for them. But that's not the world we live in, is it, right? I don't know. But anyway, the skins in Overwatch, they're insane. And this is just, I mean, what is this? This is so good. Developer communication is actually really, really good with Overwatch. So there's blog updates where the devs regularly talk about what they're working on and what they're doing, and game updates. The devs themselves actually do speak on Twitter and on social media. I think there's some over on Blue Sky as well. And they will tell you about what they're working on. They'll give you thoughts on stuff. It's actually kind of cool to see. And I do think this is almost like a golden age of dev communication, because if you look at the way Overwatch has changed over the years, it was very much led by one man, Jeff Kaplan, making all of the comments. He was the lead. He was the guy who was like, we're doing this. Here's a dev update. There wasn't really any other members of the dev team who were really that public. There were some, but not many. Everyone knew Jeff. Now, though, things have definitely changed, and you can see that's definitely something that's been put in by the current game leadership to give more exposure to different developers. And also, let's let the experts talk about what they're working on. So you will see developer update posts or like sort of dev commentaries that are not just from the game director, but that are from the actual devs that specialize in the certain areas of the game that they're working on. They also speak about whatever they're working on Twitter as well, which is kind of cool to see. So yeah, if you're looking for a game with active communication from the developers, I think you're going to be hard pressed to find a game better than Overwatch actually in that regard, which is really cool. Patch notes. Now, if you know me, you know I love a good patch note. In fact, it's funny thinking back to this, because like I think I might have been the first like Overwatch YouTuber anyway to literally read the patch notes, and it became a meme for a while where I was the guy that just read the patch notes. If you were too lazy to actually even read the patch notes, I would read them to you, which was awesome. I also met the lady that wrote the patch notes at BlizzCon one year. It was like meeting my idol. Anyway, this is, yeah, it's just the frequency of updates to the game. Now, you've got to think as well, Overwatch does have a lot of different systems in it. So Stadium gets its own specific support now. So this has a bunch of updates. And one thing I will say about Stadium is it gets updates really, really fast. Like, they don't mess about. If you're coming from other games, or maybe you're playing, I don't know, like Marvel Rivals right now, they're generally quite slow at this, doing really fast hot fixes when things are clearly out of place. Like, obviously, Wolverine is a bit of an issue in that game at the moment, so maybe they could fix him overnight, but I don't think they will. But look what Overwatch does. So Juno, she's very strong, like very, very strong in Stadium. But look at this. So Blink boosts, they've gone straight into this and decreased the cooldown reduction to 30%, down from 65%. So pretty big like reduction there. And you can see the devs explain why they're doing things as well. So Juno's Blink boosts have been dominating the skies, especially when paired with ability survival items to gain overhealth and damage repeatedly. I won't read it all off, but they explain why they're making changes. Now, sometimes you won't always agree with it, but at least they've got the bollocks to come out there and explain why they're doing it, which is really good. And you can see, like, I'm just going to scroll through this here just to give you an idea. More Stadium updates coming through here. You've got a bunch of, like, I mean, loads of Stadium updates. There's going to be a lot of Stadium updates anyway because it's such a complex system. You've got a hotfix balance again to Stadium, more Stadium changes. Season 17, the big patch notes for a new season coming through. But basically, there's a lot of updates coming out to the game. There's a lot of patches. There's a lot of balance changes. And if you really enjoy that, then I think you'll enjoy Overwatch. But also, it kind of makes the game feel alive with constant updates coming through. And this is a debate you can have back and forth. Should a game be updated frequently when it comes to balance and patches and hero balance and game design and all that stuff? Or should it be updated on a set cadence like every couple of months? I don't know. Like, as time goes on, I like it when things are just changed really fast. So, I don't know. I think this is horses for courses. You're going to like whatever you like. But the fact is, Overwatch is a very alive, supported game when it comes to updates, balance, patches, and all of that good stuff. Also, I'm not going to have a bad word said about this. Anna, she is the best hero when it comes to hero design, when it comes to kit design that has ever been added to the game. And she was the first hero to get added. Nothing will ever beat Anna. She's so good. Also, the fact she's a granny. Like, it's just insane. Anyway, I love it. So, what I want to talk about here is perks and adaptive systems and ways the game changes. Because if you're coming from the Overwatch days, you don't know what the hell a perk is, right? You're like, what is this? Now, you can see I've just picked up the alt charge thingy here in the practice range, which gives you the perk, or the ability to select a perk in the practice range, that is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down the button to show you guys this. Now, you've probably seen this before, but the point I want to make in this video is this is player agency. This is good player agency. This is player choice. This is fun for the players. And for too long, Overwatch is focused on giving you new and exciting ways to get different types of currency to spend on different skins. That is not new and exciting. That is garbage. The developers at the time can say, oh, yeah, well, it was player choice. It is, but it's not really, is it? This is proper player choice. You're looking, thinking, okay, what do I get here? Do I get Groggy? Do I get Biotic Bounce? Now, often with these things, there's generally a way, let's say just an optimal build, which is kind of sad, but they can change this kind of stuff in the future going forward. I think they actually nerfed Nano Boost, didn't they? I'm sure they nerfed that, actually, didn't they? The South Nano Boost. But anyway, this is good, right? And this is, again, another way they can change the game in a meaningful way to make it more interesting for players. Because you can change the perks of the heroes that you're playing, or they can change them, sorry. So you've got different options. Like, they could focus on a completely different perk for Anna. They could they can essentially completely change the way that your character plays. And it's not just for Anna, obviously, it's for every hero. It's really good, and I really like this. It's an adaptive system. It's great player choice. And again, I think you'll be hard-pressed to find systems like this in other games that are going to have this level of, like, how can I say this, like frequency of update coming to them, which I think is a good thing. So yeah, good job. Hero design, and especially new hero design. I think they knocked this out of the park. Now, the reason why I've got Brig on the screen here is we all remember what Brig did to the game. Now, Brig, she's got the kit's okay. The launch version of Brig was absolutely insanely broken. But the problem was at the time, it took the development team so long to actually realize what Brig was doing to the game. It really made a mess of the game. And I think it had quite a detrimental effect on the esports scene as well. Although I did like GOATs, I'm on record saying that. I did think it was quite tactical to watch it play out. Brig was like, yeah, you don't want the best players in the world just playing Brig. You want them on heroes that look flashy and are doing like skillful things. Of course, I remember a player called Prophet who I used to play for London Spitfire because I used to do work with them. Was playing Brig, and it was kind of sad. But anyway, hero design is incredible. I want to focus on the Overwatch 2 heroes, though, because a lot of these are really, really good. We'll start with the tanks, and we'll go to Hazard. So Hazard, I think he's fine, Hazard. Like, I think if you look at the actual visual design of the heroes, obviously this is a skin I've got equipped. The voice work is always top tier. Like, it always is top tier for Overwatch heroes. I don't think anyone could say it's bad. It never is. It's incredible. I think there's a hero basically for everyone here, whether you just like the design of the hero or the kit or the way the hero plays. Everything is basically covered here, which I think is incredible. But I think Hazard, yeah, well-designed hero. He plays quite well. Malga as well. This is like a fan favorite hero. He was obviously teased for a long, long time back in Overwatch with a lot of Batiste media that came out at the time. Yeah, he's had problems with his kit, but his design, I don't think anyone could say his design's bad. It's not. It's really sick. Again, they fixed his kit. If you look at Junker Queen, you know, again, she was a hero that was teased for a long, long time. In-game lore teases. And again, I think they've done a really good job. I think she was meant to be like this brawler tank, almost like the design of what Overwatch 2 tanks should be. But I think that was from the Overwatch 1 team, so things have changed as time's gone on. But yeah, the tanks, I mean, obviously Ramatra as well. I mean, let's put Ramatra's actual skin on because this is just sick. Ramatra is... I want Blizzard to release the Ramatra cinematic because I know they've got it somewhere or they've got bits of it worked on because he was going to be insane. And he is insane. Great, again, great voice work, great visual design, interesting kit to play with. Just like nobody does it like this. This is like incredible. But then, of course, like you can go ahead and you can look at heroes and say, well, have they made any sort of mistakes with heroes? And I want to take a look sort of at Lifeweaver and say, again, yeah, visual design, great, you know, but it's the same for all the heroes. The visual design is really strong. Voice, again, really strong, but his kit was kind of really weak when he first came out, and he still kind of is a bit weak right now. In fact, he's another one where I think his standard skin is pretty good. But like, yeah, like you're going to get diversity in hero design, which I think is really good. And again, just to go through these heroes, we've got Freya, the most recent hero added to the game. She's been a bit overpowered, ridiculously overpowered, and probably needs to be looked at a little bit. But again, strong hero design, kit, unique kit to the characters in Overwatch. Again, it's really strong. You've obviously got like Sojourn, the original, well, I guess like the face of Overwatch 2. High skill, railgun character, high mobility. Again, great character design. You've got Venture. Again, I actually, my videos, if you go back and watch my videos on Venture, I really liked Venture. They are like the underground movement and the way the weapon functions and everything. I think is really, really cool. Really strong hero in this sort of like medium to close range, like brawler DPS. Really cool. But yeah, you can just go on and on and on. Obviously, you know, these, when I say the original Overwatch 2 hero is Junker Queen, it's probably Kiriko, isn't it? But this is Juno. And yeah, Juno, really strong hero, really good kit. Obviously has lots of skins. Same for Kiriko. Strong kit. Actually, the last hero to get a full-blown cinematic as well, Kiriko. Hopefully we get more of those in the future. But yeah, I think the hero design in this game is just unparalleled. Like, you're just not going to get this level of design. And even arguably the level of customization. I mean, look at all these skins. Like, her mythic skin is probably still my favorite one of her skins, but she's got so many skins. And the thing with her is she gets a skin every time. So if you're a fan of her, you're just going to get skins all the time. There's an obvious reason for that, because Blizzard like to call them high attach rate heroes because they sell a lot of skins, and you can tell who those heroes are. But yeah, I think it's really strong. I will always be coming back to check Overwatch out in years and years' time to see what the new heroes are. It's always going to be a big draw of the game, and I think they always nail it when it comes to new hero design. So what does Overwatch have in its current state? Well, I think it's quite simple. It is a very robustly designed game when it comes to the ways you can play the game. It's got a lot of different gameplay options. It is supported heavily by its development team. It's got a lot of updates, a lot of patches, a lot of balance changes constantly being added to the game. It's got vocal developers, so you can get behind the scenes and you can kind of see what they're saying and what they're talking about. It's got an incredible graphics engine that works really, really well. It's very, I mean, like I said, you're going to be very hard pressed to find anything that is as efficient as this graphics engine. It's incredible. The engineers, the designers that worked on it did a really good job. It's really, really strong. Obviously, the art direction in the game, it's incredible. It's going to stand the test of time. The hero design in the game, you're going to find this is just nowhere else delivers on that type of visual fidelity and that design of the heroes. You're just going to get that nowhere else. And I just think overall, there's a lot going on in Overwatch's favor. But what generally happens, and like I said, I kind of touched on this at the top of the video, a lot of people, and especially me, you get this vision of what Overwatch could have been, and it's not what it is. And you see all these years of the game floundering, of poor managerial decisions, lots of issues, like maybe not the best content being added to the game, all this kind of thing. And it really does great, and it actually gives you quite a negative slant on the game. But if you ignore that and you look at Overwatch right now in its current state, you say, what is Overwatch 2 delivering, and what is it offering to me as a player if I just want to play the game right now? It is giving you more than it is ever given anyone ever. This is the peak of Overwatch as a game. I don't care what you say to me. I don't care if you say, well, Sty, the monetization's crap or whatever. Yeah, sure, but the game itself, you will not find a better version of Overwatch anywhere. And one of the things which highlighted this, I think in a very big way, was the return to classic Overwatch, which of course was limited time events that were added to the game. And I played the very first version of it, and it was funny to see it. It was cool. It was a nostalgia trip. It was going back in time to everybody playing Winston and Lucio and like 5 Winston bubbles just everywhere all over the map. It was an insane time. It was a fun time because Overwatch was a brand new game and we didn't know what we were doing. Now we do, and times have to change. And the development team has got a much harder job because the game is a lot more complex and players are just a lot better and they've got a lot more options out there. So I do think if you're looking for a hero shooter, do give Overwatch a go. It almost feels like this is a video of like, yeah, well, we get that style. We understand that. And I'm sure a lot of you do. I wanted to put this together, though, because I think a lot of people think overly negative when it comes to Overwatch. They think, and like I said, me included, like, oh, this is a game that could have been. It's a game that lied about what it was going to give us for its sequel. And these are all true and they're all valid points, but times are different now. And I think we owe Overwatch just as gamers to give it a go and go, actually, what is this game delivering right now and where could it go? Now, one of the things that makes me excited for the future is developers have been publicly speaking about what's going to happen in season, I think, 18, 19, and 20, which is going to be cool, right? Why would they talk about that publicly? Hopefully, they've got a major game feature that's going to be added, or they're going to start really pushing the game forward. I'm actually on record saying I think Overwatch itself is a really good IP, and I think it's an IP that could grow if they push into other areas, maybe different genres of games and things like that going forward into the future. I think that could be really cool. But like I said, guys, do give Overwatch a chance. Don't believe all of the Overwatch is terrible, it's in a bad place, and it's a crap game. It really isn't. Because if it was, nobody would be playing it, and that's just simply not true. All right, guys, thanks for watching the video. Let me know what you think about Overwatch 2 in the comments below. And what would you like to see for the game going forward? I will leave the video at this. I do think the game would really, really, really positively benefit from dropping the 2 in the title. If it just turned back into Overwatch and it was almost like a reset, and this is the future of the game right now, I think that would make people like me feel a lot better. So that's why I want to change. But no, I do think it would be like a global mental reset. The 2 was a failure. We're going forward. This is Overwatch, and this is what we're doing with the game, and we're going to evolve it, and we're going to push it forward, which they have done with things like Stadium and perks and all of that good stuff that's been added to the game recently. All right, guys, thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, well, thanks for watching the video, and I'll catch you lovely lot on the next one. See you soon.